We're about to work the final arcs of the central star motif. Now I've finished my triangle, I'm back down to the base of that triangle, and I am wrapping my way up to the level of the arcs. Now you'll notice that my first triangle is going to be slightly awkward. I had to make a correction, and the tip of the triangle is no longer secured to the tack stitch. So just be mindful that it will look slightly different, and just follow through and pay attention to the second repeat, and it should look perfectly normal. So now that I'm wrapped up to the right level, I'm going to pierce through the top of the triangle and then pierce through the wrapped spine for the next leg of these two arcs. So we'll do them two at a time. I'll come back through the point of the triangle and then back to the starting point. Now, unlike when we're working the corners, where we throw 3 strands so that we can work our way back to center, in this instance we're progressing our way around a circle, so we only throw 2 strands, and that gives us our working direction of going clockwise around the motif. So the arcs for the outer circle are just the same as the arcs that we did in the corners. I think the only difference is these are slightly shorter, and I only use 1 picot per arc instead of 2. So I've just worked, I think, 4 or 5 stitches. I will make my picot, wrapping 4 times. All the picots are exactly the same. And then I'll work the remaining buttonhole stitches along the arc. And then all I do when I reach the end of this arc is just move over to the next portion of thread and continue working the second arc. That's 3 stitches and 4 stitches. So now I'll just jump to the second leg, and I'll work my 4 stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4. And as always, your number of stitches may vary depending on the size of your thread and the size of your template. Here I'll make another picot. And then work the remaining 4 stitches along the arc. And this process is repeated at every single point all the way around. I've worked my way all the way around the central star motif. I'm done with all of the arcs, and I'm working my way out to my final arc. Now, what I'll do here is I'll wrap my way just to the top of the arc, and then I'll throw the arc itself out to the right and then to the left. I'll completely stitch the arcs, and then I'll finish the wrapping that reaches the perimeter that goes inside the arc. So it's kind of opposite of what we've been doing in each of the corners and each of the ends of the cross. And that's just because we're working our way out of the motif instead of working our way into the center. So now that I'm where I need to be, I'll throw my stitches out to the right, pierce through my threads in the center, and throw my stitches out to the left. Once I'm on the left, I will stay there and throw my 3 foundation threads and cover with buttonhole stitches and picot. There will be a quick jump here because I'm running out of thread, so I'll go ahead and change my thread, and then we'll complete this arc. With my new thread joined in, I do have 1 extra foundation strand in this particular arc. So what I'll do to compensate is I will just pull my buttonhole stitches slightly tighter around the core threads. Now that doesn't mean I'm going to squash them closer together. I'm just trying to make them slightly tighter around the core. So it's a little bit of a different directionality on the tug so that I'm not crushing them close together. But I'll finish these few stitches. Again, this is a cross arc, so it's 5 stitches picot, 5 stitches. Once it's complete, then I'll wrap my way out and we'll begin working the perimeter.